Hello, welcome back. So in this episode we're going to work on the MFE as well as a few other things to help our crafting system out. So right now we've got our BatBox down there, and you can't really see it, but there it is, our BatBox, and it's full of power right now. But it can only store 40,000 EUs, and it can only output 32 EUs per tick. So we've got all of our industrial craft machines on here and the AE system. There's no way we have enough power for that. As soon as it gets dark and it hits night, the AE system pretty much drains the BatBox. But the MFE, which we want to build, will store 4 million EU. So that will keep us going. So as long as it's daytime, it usually keeps up pretty well. But at night, there's not enough stored energy to keep up with this. But we can do that if we build the MFE. The other problem is, with only outputting 32 EUs per tick, this metal former uses 16 EUs per tick, this one uses 16 EUs per tick, so two of these running, and you can't use anything else because they'll drain their internal buffer and they'll just stop. So we need a little bit better power storage, a little better transmission. So the Tier 1 storage or transmission cables were the tin cables, and I didn't really use those except I think when we had it outside to cook up the basalt brick originally. So everything on here is on copper cables, which can transmit 128 EU per tick. So that should work out okay, I think, for now. I'm not really 100% sure. We might have to upgrade, but we'll look into that later. So the MFE is a bit complicated, but we have our AE system, and last time we built a macerator and those metal formers, and let me show you what they do. So the macerator, it's pretty simple. You put things in there, it macerates it. It's like a pulverizer, basically. There's a couple of recipes, though, that only the macerator can do. You can't get it in a grindstone, you can't get it in the pulverizer. One of those is diamond dust. You get one diamond, and it makes diamond dust. And as you can see, I've put ME interfaces on top of all the industrial craft machines, so they all have something that they're doing for the auto crafting setup. So electric furnace, you've already seen that, but it's going to be cooking up our processors for us. It'll make silicon for us, and it'll make rubber bars for us. The metal formers, and we needed two. I told you that they have a couple different modes. There's the extruding mode, the rolling mode, and the cutting mode. And I don't really know why you need the cutting mode, because except for this one recipe, it looks like you can do everything through the extruding. Sorry, I'm going the wrong place. So the cutting mode, it can make these industrial credits, but other than that, the extruder can make all our cables. It can make high voltage cables, tin cables, copper cables, gold cables. You know, I mean, it can do it all. So we're actually going to use just the two modes, extruding and rolling. And in the extruder, we can get our cables. And in the rolling machine, or in the metal former on rolling mode, we can get our plates and our item casings. So I've already got that set up. And finally, the compressor, which I know we used, but I forget what. Oh, for the coal dust. We needed that to compress coal dust to get something. I don't remember what it was, but it was important at the time, I think. So it can also make energy crystals with energium dust. And energium dust is a component of our MFE, or rather, energy crystals are, which you get from compressing energium dust, which is diamond dust, which we need the macerator for, and redstone. So 4 diamonds per energy crystal. So that's 16 diamonds we're going to use, and they've got the basic machine casing. Alright, you see it's dark, and the ME controller, drain, drain, drain. How's the BatBox doing? It's empty. Yeah, like I said, as soon as it gets dark, the ME system just takes all the power out of this system. So, alright. But it gets light again, it charges back up, so no problem. Okay, where were we? MFE. MFE also requires insulated gold cables. That's pretty much just gold cable, which we could get from a cutter, but we're going to use our new machine to make those. And to insulate them, you actually need 2 pieces of rubber, not 1. Don't know why, but there it is. And a basic machine casing. So, I no longer need forge hammers, I no longer need cutters. I no longer have to do any of that manually. I've taught the AE system to do all of it. So let me see how it's connected. So there is a basic import bus on the back of all of our industrial craft machines. There's a single ME cable up to this first interface, and remember, ME devices, if they're next to each other, they don't need a cable to connect. So I don't need cables on all of them, just the first one, and then I have all the way down, and they're all fine. So let's see if we can craft an MFE, because it says it's crafting a basic processor. I don't know why it's doing that, so actually I think I told it to do that, so oh, it looks like it's working fine. Sorry. The MFE. I want to craft an MFE, so let's see if it can do that. Look in the crafting monitor, it's making iron plates. So over here, this machine makes iron plates from iron ingots. Now, as you can see, it's pretty slow to get these iron plates. I do have 1 overclocker. In fact, we've got 5 machines, 6 when you count the induction furnace, but you can't put overclockers in the induction furnace. So all of them have one of the overclockers we made originally that we were going to put in our first electric furnace, but that didn't work out. So each one is overclocked 1 time. We'll definitely want to make more overclockers to make the system faster, but it's fine for the time being. So it's going to keep making power, and as you can see, it's draining some of its internal buffer. It was using some of these machines simultaneously, and that's not enough power. We need this MFE to really keep going. But you know what? It's still going. It's still making stuff, and it doesn't matter. This doesn't have power. It's got enough to keep going, I think. I'm not really 100% sure, so we'll see if it can actually make these things. So, still waiting on diamond dust, energium dust, energy crystals. So, okay. It's about halfway filled up. It's going to take some time to make an MFE. So, let's come back to that. As you can see, I've redone the base. I wasn't liking the 9x9 structure anymore. Although I like the light, you can see I've got a lot more torches, and I've got some glowstone sticking out of these stone brick things. Yeah, not quite as bad as my white trash chandeliers I had, but there's a bit too many torches in here, really, for my liking. But I do have my magnum torch on top, and I put it on the roof because I made a fence around the top level, and as you can see, it's now just 2 rooms. I made 2 basically double rooms. I made a nice spiral window, some more skylights. This is amaranth planks from Natura. I found some amaranth trees. In fact, there's one right now. And I made a little viewing area, I don't know, for the enchantment room. So I like the color of this for the enchantment. You know, it looks kind of dark, so that's kind of nice. And I've got a nice little place to, you know, walk out and check out my stuff. This is where my medium voltage solar array is. I've got my magnum torch here that will keep enemies from spawning, but if anything ever happened to that, I do not want creepers spawning in my base, so I still wanted to make sure I did the F7 and checked out all the areas where monsters could spawn and make sure that they wouldn't. So the other thing we want to do is I've still got these jungle wood barrels. So why haven't I put them into my ME system, you're wondering? And the answer is 4K storage devices. I'm going to have lots and lots of cobble and dirt and gravel. You can see I've got 45 stacks of gravel. I think I've got like 20 stacks of compressed dirt and 20 stacks of double compressed cobble out there by the quarry. So I just have tons of that stuff. It's not going to fit in my ME system right now. But I have made a 16K storage. So we're going to use that to store some of our dirt. How's our crafting coming? It says it's not crafting anything, Does that mean I actually made the MFE? Hey, look at that, it did. It took a while, but it did make our MFE. Alright, let me come back to the 16K storage, and I think I'm going to go ahead and place this MFE here. It shouldn't be too hard. Let's see if we can just do that real quick. So here's the cables. I've got my flux infused Omni wrench, and I fell, so try that again. So I want my dot to face the way I'm facing now, because here's the output, there's the input. So that should be good. And storage, and it's going, yes. So we now have 4 times as much output as we did before. 32 times 4 is 128. Now it says output 512 EUs per tick, but these are copper cables. Copper cables only carry 128 EUs per tick. So no, it's not 512, it's 128. That's okay. We could put 4 cables coming out of the MFE, or we could do, gold cable or high voltage cable, and we could increase our power that way. In fact, you know what? It's a good thing that this is broke right now in the Industrial Craft beta, because I did not do something very important, which will cause very bad things to happen if it weren't like this. I have not made any low voltage transformers. These machines are all going directly off their cables, and you can see I even put the cables up here. So we actually need to make LV transformers for all these things. Or we could make transformer upgrades. That might be a better idea. But for now, I think I'm going to make LV transformers, because my system knows how to make that. Or it would if it had power. So, alright, let's see here. I'm going to break this cable, and I'm going to put this cable back on. And there we go. MFE is supplying the power for our AE system. AE system is not Industrial Craft. It doesn't respect the voltages, so you can put anything into the ME controller. You can for these right now too, but you're not supposed to be able to, so let's fix that. I had already dug this out so that it would go like this. Then I can put I can put the LV transformers up there, right underneath them. I may need to get scaffolding. Okay, it's a bit bigger part I was thinking it was going to be, but okay, you can see it's storing up energy. We've already stored up 145,000 EU, so that's 4.5, almost, no, that's not even 4 times. We're almost 4 times as much storage we have right now than we ever had in the BatBox. So that's a good thing. Let me go off camera and fix these with LV transformers, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So as you can see, I put LV transformers under all the machines except for the induction furnace. The induction furnace can take 128 EUs per tick. Everything else can only take 32 EUs per tick without any upgrades. So we're going to put LV transformers under there for now. So let's go back to our storage segment. So we've got our ME16K storage, where I'm going to put all my dirt and cobblestone and gravel and whatnot. But how do I say I want that stuff on this specific kind of cell? Otherwise it'll fill up with other types and maybe they'll use it all up. So we need to make a partition editor. And a partition editor is pretty simple. Conversion matrix, glass, iron, and a crafting table. I've already made all those things, I think, so there we are. The partition editor does not need to be part of your network. It can be, anywhere you want it to be. I'll put it here for now. So we put our storage in here, and we can give it a name like, I don't know, lots of blocks. I need to tell what kind of stuff I want to put on there, so we're going to put cobblestone and gravel and dirt on there for now. We can change this later, so I guess it doesn't keep my name. That's okay. Cobblestone, gravel, and dirt. Okay, so that's how long you can name it. Not quite long enough for all that. Whatever, the names aren't really important. But there we are. We are partitioned for junk blocks. So let's put this into our network, and I think we need to put it in the first position. That's where things will go first. So right now, is there any dirt or gravel or cobble in our network? And it turns out that there is some dirt, some cobblestone. And is there any gravel? Yes. Okay, so now this cell is empty, and there is, more space on the other cells. So we can go ahead and put the cobblestone back into our network, and the dirt and the gravel. And we can see that the first position is orange. It has 3 of 63 types, but it's partitioned. It only allows those types. So we will only be able to put dirt and cobble and gravel stone in there. No sand, no anything else. So there we go. There's where all of our blocks are going to go on that bigger storage cell, which is going to help us out. I know if you right-click a couple times, you can put more things in there. It looks like you can't take more things out at a time from a barrel. I did not have enough space for all that gravel. You probably can't tell, but there are fewer delays when accessing the ME network now because we actually are supplying more power per tick. So that's pretty handy. So right now we've got almost 1,000. Those few blocks we had already is almost a quarter of the 4K storage block. So we definitely needed a bigger storage for these junk blocks, at least for now, to figure out something to do with them. I think I might make a recycler. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So there actually was an easier way to get those blocks onto a specific disk. It was called an I/O port, but I'm realizing I forgot to make that now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to cover my stuff back up. I think that's about good for this episode. I did want to show you around the base real quick. So I've got the one big room with the Tinker's Construct stuff, tools, smeltery, my staging chest, bed, armor, brewing stand, and the anvil. This is the industrial craft room / apply energistics room. There'll be a few more things we're going to put in the ME network. I can't remember anything right now, but and there's several more industrial craft machines we'll be making, I know that. You can see the ME has almost 1.7 million EUs in there, and it's going down now. It's nighttime. But I look over there, power's fine. It's not going to drain 1.7 million EUs in a night. So we have come much closer to solving our energy problem. I won't say we've solved them, but we've come closer. Upstairs we have the roof. I think I already showed you the enchanting room with the nice glass floor. I like the amaranth planks for that. Magnum torch, and if I didn't show you, I think I did before, you can put a battery in this spot and it charges it, which is... Why would that have lit up right then? There's no sun. That's weird. It must be a bug. Not the point. The point is you can put a battery into this slot. If you put a battery in that slot, it'll charge up. which is really handy for when you take all your machines off the power because they don't have any transformers, and you realize you have no way to power them now. So I tried to auto-craft, and I'm wondering why my auto-crafting isn't working. It's because the machines ran out of power to make the cables I needed. So there's a lesson. Alright, and then there is the downstairs area, which is thermal expansion and the MAC. And I think I'm going to put a giant lava tank over here from Railcraft, and we're going to replace our coal system with a lava system. It's not going to generate any more power than we do right now, but lava is much longer lasting, and we should be able to get an unlimited supply and fully automate this so that we never have to go put coal in here again. I've taken all of the engines away from the quarry right now, and I'm just trading these energy cells back and forth for a while. Is the quarry done? I don't see the needle. The quarry might actually be done. There's two things that happen when I don't see a needle. Either it thinks there's something obstructing it, which I don't see any obstructions, but I don't see the needle either. Or it's done, but when it's done, it should bring the needle back to one of the four corners. I think this corner actually where the thing is. So let me trade out this cell real quick, and we will double check. So it is drawing power. So oh, there's the needle. Okay, I don't know why I didn't see it before. It's very clear now. So is my core getting anything good? I got some slime balls. Some more lapis. I think I still need some lapis. So 19 blocks of compressed cobble, 26 blocks of stacks of double compressed cobblestone. So we are getting quite a bit of junk blocks. We're going to have to, work that into our network and stop using that system at some point. At least that's what I'd like to do. So maybe we'll work on that in the next episode. And you can see I don't have that chest anymore. I'm not using the chest to put things in. It was just to move the items we had in the beginning. It's not really a permanent system. I actually plan to use that chest and the precision import bus to improve the quarry. We won't have to keep running back and forth at some point, because at some point that quarry will be done, and we'll need to take the quarry farther away from our base to dig stuff up. So it's past the copper level now, so how much copper do we actually have? Not bad. I don't see any copper ore, so I guess I pulverized all of it, so. But, that's 455 more ingots on top of the, almost 300 we have now, so did a good job getting copper. There's plenty of gold in there now, too, I think. Well, not plenty, but, about 100 if we macerate this, and 60 more, so 150 more gold at least, so that's going to be handy. We've got our auto crafting system working really well now, so that's going to be great. We've got all these working, so next episode, I don't know, I might work on upgrading the power for these, or might go back to thermal expansion. Not really sure yet. We'll see. So, alright, I'm done for now. Catch you later.